taught you, please, who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other.
I think that the biggest disconnection that we have as Black people is that we're not supportive of each other like we should be.
If you don't really know who you are, know your history, and at the same time when you have all these like negative forces that's just harping on you and stuff like that, it's hard to pretty much do anything. It's hard for you to love yourself, it's hard for you to love other people, and at the same time to like pretty much understand where you're going, why you're here. You can't really live like overall in society if you don't find your sense of self. And then at the same time it contributes to like unity, and you know, it's like a domino effect.
Yeah, the biggest disconnection is people trying to compete with each other. Like it's like we're crabs in a bucket trying to do the better, step on the other man's toes to get ahead. So it's competition and it's status. Everybody wants to be something, and everybody wants to be, you know, wealthy, rich, and famous. So they're competing with their neighbor when we should be just using our own gifts, because there is no competition. We all have a certain purpose to fulfill. So there's no reason why I should be in competition with somebody else. So
It's just mind-blowing, honestly, how much we don't support each other. Riding down the street with my grandmother, how she's so like judgmental of other Black people, especially Black women. She's a Black woman herself, but she has these stereotypes that she has already made about Black women and how they drive because they have a nicer car, or how they are because of how they look and things like that. It's really interesting to watch.
I see a mixture of the two. I noticed that there are a lot of Black people who are in doubt of themselves. Some even like subconsciously don't even like themselves. Like they don't like their hair, their complexion. You know, you see a lot of things where celebrities are whitening their skin, and then you see females who, you know, want to wear the weaves and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I wear it sometimes too, but I also love my natural. So I feel as though, you know, it's okay to experiment with different fashions, but also appreciate who you are naturally, who God made you to be.
I think you have a group of people who are educated, and that's not saying that, you know, you may have a college degree or you may be in college, but you may be educated within like the way your parents taught you or how you taught yourself to love yourself. And remind yourself that you are a king, you are a queen. But I think a lot of us aren't like that. I think a lot of us have been broken down so much, have so much negativity embedded into our culture that we forget who we are.
And they're starting to get back to where we come from, the real truths that we weren't taught in school. Because in school we're taught, that Black history starts on the plantation, when we know that that's far from the truth. Black history started beyond the plantation. So yeah, I noticed like a lot of people in my generation are starting to learn that.
Social media, to me, is a good and bad thing, like everything in the world. I think it's a good thing because of the amount of information that's there, the amount of advertisement, all that stuff, and you can connect. That's honestly, they say, how did like the Black Lives Matter movement start back up, and what's the difference?
I do think so, especially Instagram, because I'm following like these several accounts that really drops knowledge. Like there's one called Hebrews to Negroes, and then also Black People in Progress. Like I'm really learning, like they really have like just truth that I probably wouldn't otherwise get, because you're on Instagram scrolling, and then you see like a powerful, profound message of history. So yes, I do.
I feel like there are two different sides. I think the good side is, like I was saying, the recognition. We need the recognition. I think it's good to see, because there's things on social media that I find out that I wouldn't have found out if I was just watching TV. Or if you are someone who is very busy, who is doing stuff throughout your life, it's easy in today's day and age to just pick up your phone and look at it, social media, and you're like, okay, like this is what's going on in the world.
Mainly social media. It's mainly the internet. It's mainly broadcasting. All of those things contribute to pretty much our awareness, and it's kind of like, it's a good and bad thing, because there's shaming on social media, there's hateful things that's said on social media as well. But if you use it the right way, then it can be a really positive outlet. You can connect with so many different people, so it's cool.
Well, the Plantation is where the sole root of self-hate started at. I mean, there were tactics used by the Europeans to dehumanize the Black people, to separate them, and these tactics were, I'm sure most people know, but the whole thing about your skin differences, they were a hierarchy in place to make the slaves who look more African, with more African features, and make them feel like they're less than. And that kind of played out over the years through transitions from generation to generation. So that's definitely the soul root. Wake up. The best solution is education and knowledge of thyself. I definitely feel like it starts within you, but for the younger people coming up, if there's an older person, you see a child who maybe doesn't like themselves or doesn't like their hair or their skin complexion or who they are, that's when the adult should come in and educate them and encourage them to know that they're great.
We gotta find a way to beat the system. I think that's the solution. And I think by beating the system, we start within ourselves, of course, and we try to find a way to liberate ourselves, to not be oppressed by the oppressor. It's all in our heads. And then, but we find just the right way to do it. And then from there, we teach our kids, we teach our family, we teach our friends, we teach as many people as we can teach that are like us, but we teach people how to do it through love. And sometimes we have to get a little crazy, I guess, get a little crazy, but try to be at peace with yourself and in love with yourself.
Realizing your worth as a human being overall, and finding what you're good at, finding what your passions are, not comparing yourself to other people, and understanding that everybody's going to be different, and that's okay if everybody's different. It's cool. Just knowing that you're an individual